great. Matson celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on Primetime, when it comes to American Rescue Plan funding for village mayors, the governor has set the record straight. Plus, Public Health releases the latest COVID-19 data report and breaks down the numbers. And about $17 million in cost of living allowance was mailed out today to GovGuam retirees. These stories and more on Primetime.
Hafide, good evening, everyone. Guahusi Isaiah Uggan, and thanks for tuning in to Guam's News Leader. The governor has set the record straight with village mayors over their share of American Rescue Plan funding. That's according to Budget Director Lester Carlson, who sat in on a regular quarterly meeting today. Carlson says the figures aired publicly earlier this week by Senator Jim Moylan and Congressman Michael San Nicolas weren't accurate. KUAM's Nestor Lacanto reports.
The assertion by the Congressman and Senator Moylan that $32 million is available to the mayors was totally unfounded and unsupported.
Carlson is referring to a discussion the two had with Mayor's Council President Jesse Alec, covered by the media. He says they were factoring in counties which Guam does not have. Instead, the administration has been waiting to hear back from the Treasury Department if Guam's villages could be designated as non-entitlement units or NEUs, which would qualify them for some $17 million in assistance. But Carlson says if the mayors apply on their own, they wouldn't get the full amount.
There is a 75% cap on the amount available to them. So if they were eligible and proceeded by themselves, they would only stand to receive $9.6 million, which means that they're leaving $7 million on the table. And nobody should ever contemplate doing something like that.
But Carlson says the governor can qualify for the full amount and has pledged to give it all back to the mayors.
And they're 100% behind what it is we're doing. They understand what we're doing and the economic benefit of what it is that they're doing.
Meanwhile, Mayor's Council President Jesse Alec said regarding the meeting with Congressman San Nicolas and Senator Moylan, it wasn't what he expected. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lacanto.
At the bottom of the hour, a memorial service is being held in honor of 23-year-old Jaron Wellbacker at the Cove in Tamuning. KUAM's Hannah Devonzo is there right now and joins us live. Hannah?
We are reporting to you live from the memorial for Jaron Wellbacker. Today, his family and friends gathered to say farewell to him, but his memory will vividly live on. Right now, I have with me his dear Uncle Fritz. Could you tell us a little bit about what Jaron was like? We've heard so many good things, but we'd love to hear it from a family perspective.
Yes. Jaron gave a lot to Guam, starting when they moved out here about 14 years ago. He was involved in sports, in elementary, in Pee Wee, and then went to high school. He participated in a lot of sports, softball, volleyball, football, and basketball. Contributed a lot. He brought a lot of joy when he played sports. Everybody enjoyed that. He joined the Marines. His influence on his friends was impactful. The Marines wanted him to extend. He decided no, he's going to come home and try something else. So he decided to come back to UOG. He was an honor student. Was about to graduate next year, and then this happens. So yes, he contributed a lot, and it shows with all the folks that are showing up to pay their respects for him.
And what was Jaron? How would people closest to Jaron describe his character?
He was a shining star. When he walked into a room, you can tell that he had charisma. He was a natural-born leader. That's the type of person he was. And you can ask his friends, the ones that are here, and they'll say the same thing. His Marine friends would say the same thing. Parents saw that in him, so they brought him in closer. He's got a lot of friends here that he actually spent time in their homes. They considered him their son, like they treat their own children.
And during this unimaginable time, how can we as a community support you and your family?
This turnout right here, this is a perfect example. We knew that it was going to be a big event, so we planned it for 2 days. This is the type of impact that he has on the small community of KUAM.
And I know you wanted to say a word of something. The mic is all yours.
Yes. To the folks, to the people that did this to our son, I know they asked to be in the service. They asked to serve their country. They asked for citizenship in the United States. And I ask those folks, their leadership, is it worth keeping those type of people in the service? That's what I ask, the family asks.
And we are here to support you in any way we can. Reporting for KUAM News Network, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
Thank you, Hannah, for that live report. Our thoughts and prayers are with Jaren's family and friends during this difficult time. As we reported, Jaren was pronounced dead at the hospital following an altercation that occurred early Saturday morning outside a Tamuning restaurant. 2 people were charged in the case. A woman was rushed to Guam Regional Medical City with serious injuries following a crash in Manila. According to Guam Fire Department acting spokesperson Cherika Chargaloff, 911 received a report of a 2-car crash just before 3:30 this afternoon. The collision occurred along Route 15 near the Manila golf course. 2 additional people were transported to GRMC. They were in stable condition. The island recorded 2 COVID-19 related fatalities. A 52-year-old man and a 64-year-old woman. Both were unvaccinated and had underlying health conditions. This brings the total number of people who have died from COVID-19 to 219. Public Health released its latest COVID-19 data report related to breakthrough cases and surge trends. With a closer look at these numbers, here's KUAM's Daniel Perez.
The numbers may be decreasing, but according to Public Health Territorial Epidemiologist Dr. Ann Pobutsky, it's still the same age groups driving up infection rates.
The pattern that we're seeing is the 18 to 39 and the 40 to 59 group. Those are the group that's the majority of the cases. That's also the group that's the majority of the breakthroughs. So it could be that it's because these people are out and about and they're more likely to be working or in groups.
According to DPHS's latest COVID-19 data, there have been almost 3,000 breakthrough cases in the past 8 months. State Epidemiological Outcomes Workgroup leader Dr. Annette David said that's bound to happen.
And why is that? Number one, no vaccine is 100% effective. And as you vaccinate more people, you will also see growing numbers of breakthroughs. It's just the mathematics.
Another reason as to the growing cases could be because of the Delta variant.
Delta is here. It's been here at least since July. We had a few cases prior to that. I think it's because of Delta. It's more infectious, it's more serious, but we're not seeing, and we did see a lot of hospitalizations and a lot of deaths during this surge, but most of those people were unvaccinated who died.
Those vaccinated that passed away were confirmed to have multiple comorbidities, but Dr. Pobutsky says most COVID deaths are from the unvaccinated.
The vaccine seems to be working despite the fact that we have so many cases in the community. And the whole point of the vaccine now is herd protection, not necessarily herd immunity. So we still have to keep beefing up that immunization rate and have people get their boosters.
Dr. David says the best way to curb the surge is to get vaccinated and continue to wear masks, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Daniel Perez reporting for KUAM News Network.
Thanks, Daniel. Public Health is advising local healthcare providers to be on alert for possible cases of multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children, or MIS-C. An advisory was issued on Wednesday to all licensed physicians about the first diagnosed case associated with COVID-19. Physicians Advisory Group member and local pediatrician Dr. Michael says typically the symptoms start showing at least 4 weeks after a child is diagnosed with COVID-19.
The scary part is, it can cause low blood pressures and decreased perfusion to the organs. So, it can affect the heart, it can affect the kidneys, it can affect the lungs. There is a treatment for it, but I've heard that because cases in MIS-C and probably other things are rising overall across the country, IVIG, which is the treatment for it, is on very, very short supply. And I think, that's obviously very concerning.
Dr. does say, however, that Guam would be receiving a shipment of the treatment. He adds that the best way to prevent MIS-C is to not get COVID and, if eligible, to have your child get vaccinated. Joint Region Marianas, along with Naval Hospital, will host vaccination clinics next week to ensure all DoD civilian employees and contractors meet the federal mandate to be fully vaccinated. Civilian employees must get the shot by no later than November 22nd, while contractors have until December 8th. Personnel who are not fully vaccinated will be subject to weekly testing. As for those who decline to be tested, may face disciplinary action and will not be allowed access to DoD facilities. Naval Hospital will be holding a vaccination clinic next Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Additionally, JRM reports that approximately 98% of active duty service members assigned to Guam are fully vaccinated. Once again, we invite you to voice your view on our social media with our daily question. Today, we asked, should vaccinated individuals with a negative test be able to participate in activities that vaccinated people are able to do? We will share responses on the link tomorrow morning. And stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
And instant prizes from Foot Locker and Burger King. Win the best-selling 2021 Toyota Corolla LE, the crossover SUV 2021 Toyota RAV4 LE, and the dynamic luxury SUV 2021 BMW X1. The more you shop, the more chance to win. In the Micronesia Malls, shop and win.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
My barbecue bacon double cheeseburger, 2 100% beef patties, hickory smoked bacon, and award-winning barbecue sauce. Award-winning. Try my barbecue bacon double cheeseburger combo, only at Jack in the Box.
100% truck, 100% Jeep. Experience next-level off-roading on your new Jeep Gladiator, the most capable off-road midsize pickup truck crafted for adventure, equipped with best-in-class towing capacity, legendary 4x4 Jeep capability, and backed by Guam's only lifetime powertrain warranty. Drive home in a 2021 Jeep Gladiator today, starting as low as $315 per paycheck during Jeep Adventure Days. Visit CarsPlusGuam.com to get pre-approved online today. Terms and conditions apply. Cars Plus, driven by you.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. In regional politics, early voting for one of Saipan's largest precincts kicked off last week. Tomas Maglonia sits down with both candidates ahead of polls closing this Saturday. Here's more.
Campaigns on both sides of the aisle are in full swing for this Saturday's special election.
What I would like to let the people know, for those who are still on the fence, I would like to ask that you look past the party lines, because the person that you are going to elect is not going to work for the party. It should be a person who's going to work for the people, and I am that person. Follow your heart. I mean, you are the constituents of Precinct 3. You know your precinct well, and you know the person that you feel and know that will represent you very well. And all I can say is give me an opportunity, allow me that opportunity to be seated so that I can be that voice.
Early voting began last week for Precinct 3's over 3,000 constituents, a chance to vote for the candidate they want to fill the seat held by the late Representative Ivan Blanco. We asked both candidates, what is the biggest issue facing Precinct 3? Republican Grace Viñaje, an experienced clinician, says,
So as I've gone around, one thing that the individuals that I've met personally as I've done my house-to-house, or I've just been out in the community, one thing that they've shared with me is pretty much the road situation, where there's areas that you're going to go into, not necessarily to say that they're the outskirts of Precinct 3, but these are places that I've personally driven as I've done my house-to-house, and I've met with families and individuals that live away from the more developed areas. One of their main concerns is the road.
Democrat Karina Magofnia, experienced in finance and budgeting, lost in a narrow race last year for one of the seats for her precinct. She says she's heard a range of issues.
the complaints that I was hearing were the PUA issues, the child tax, the stimulus. Those were one of the major concerns that I would hear when I did my house visits. And a lot of that is really, like, I can't really speak to it because I am not in there, or I don't, I don't run, I'm not the department head for that agency who is responsible for that. So I don't want to misinform people, but I do know that the people are struggling, and that, we need to do better.
Tomas Manglotnya for KUAM News on Saipan.
Again, the special election is on October 16 this Saturday. We'll have more. GovGuam retirees got their annual lump sum cost of living allowance payments today. Some $17.2 million was sent out, and Adelup says it marks the third year in a row it's been out early. GovGuam COLA, which is not tied directly to any inflationary measure, has been set at a flat rate of $2,000 since 2014. Separately, the federal government announced today that the 2022 COLA adjustment for Social Security will be 6.9%. That's the biggest increase in 40 years. It's no surprise that the collapse in air travel due to the pandemic has severely impacted the airport's revenues. GIAA officials made that clear during an informational hearing before a legislative oversight committee today. Overall revenues are way down from records prior to COVID, and GIAA is currently managing to stay afloat with nearly 50% federal assistance. Deputy Manager Ricky Hernandez.
In fiscal year 21, unaudited, as we go through our audit process, we're looking at revenues, a substantial decrease to about $43.77 million for the most recent fiscal year that ended on September 30th. The total revenue decrease from fiscal year 19 is approximately 44.7%.
The airport is looking for ways to boost its income, but one major potential revenue source, property leasing, is hamstrung by a law that limits deals to 5 years. Executive Manager John Kanata says that's too short of a time frame for businesses to recoup their investments and needs to be adjusted.
I can imagine Guam, we talked about the air cargo industry. I can imagine and vision Guam having an Amazon hub here on Guam, where that things coming in from Asia fly in, and are processed here before being redistributed around the world.
Senator Telos Haidegui said she would reintroduce a bill to extend the time limit for airport property leases. Many of you have asked about the continued closure of the Social Security office in Tizan. KUAM News stopped by today. Staff are only accepting customers in person after they schedule an appointment. You have to call between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday to schedule. You can reach them at 855-616-6393 during office hours, or mail your documents to Social Security Administration Suite 155770 East Sunset Boulevard, Barrigada, Guam 96913. Take note that in order to speak to a representative, you must stay on the line till the very end of the automated voice message, then press 0. Father Val Rodriguez stopped by on the link this morning, sharing some of his plans as he settles into his new role as the new superintendent of Catholic education. Here's more on this report.
Father Val Rodriguez said it's been a very busy few days as he begins his new tenure this week, replacing former Catholic Education Superintendent Juan Flores.
So I went to the office, tried to talk to the staff, of course, tried to get information of how the office really works on a day-to-day basis, because I've been away from the system for quite some time. So it's like a comeback for me.
Flores stepped down in early August for personal reasons after serving as the superintendent for 2 years. He now serves as principal of Career Tech High Academy Charter School. After nearly 2 months of searching, the Archdiocese of Agani announced Father Val's appointment Saturday afternoon. Rodriguez is no stranger to the education field, as he served previously as a Catholic school superintendent in the Philippines from 1998 to 2009. He was also the professor of St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic High School from 2009 to 2013.
I was ordained in 1998, and I did not really plan to be in the education world, if you may allow me to say that. But when I was ordained, even as a deacon, my bishop immediately then, Bishop Arrigo, told me that I think you belong to the seminary to teach seminarians. So the very first assignment I had for 4 years was to be in the seminary, going back to where I started my journey to the priesthood. And I taught there for 4 years.
Father Val believes the Catholic schools on the island are doing their best in terms of education. However, he shares some of his goals as he begins his tenure.
But the presence of the priest in our schools, I think that's what came into my mind. I said, perhaps they want to have a priest's presence in all our schools. And being a priest as a superintendent, I think hopefully can bring that atmosphere in our Catholic school system.
With his years of experience in the education field, Rodriguez says managing a school system amidst the COVID-19 pandemic would be one of the biggest challenges.
Oh, believe me, Chris, these past meetings is really more on that concern. I mean, this totally really almost occupies our concern. I mean, this pandemic situation is a major concern for all of us and urgent. Very important. This week, I really plan to, as I said, I want to visit. It's not an inspection. It's really just a visit for me to see of how they are doing and what we can do to continue the quality education and of course the Catholic education in spite of this pandemic, of all of those safety measures that we have to do.
In more education news, the University of Guam has reported 8 new COVID-19 cases among students and staff since October 1st. According to their weekly COVID-19 dashboard, out of that number, 5 were students and 3 were staff. None have been on campus, which means the transmission rate of the virus is low. Since January of this year, UOG has reported 86 COVID cases. Long-term studies have shown that drug and alcohol use in youth can affect brain development and set them up for a possible future of substance abuse as an adult. A virtual resolution presentation was held for Resolution 185-36, recognizing October 2021 as National Substance Abuse Prevention Month. Senator Sabina Perez presented statistics from the 2019 Youth Risk Behavior Survey data reviewed by the Guam State Epidemiological Outcome Work Group.
In 2017, about 36% of high school youth reported they had been offered, sold, or given an illicit drug on school property. About 5.6% of Guam high school students report having tried methamphetamines, and 13% reported using synthetic marijuana.
The survey further revealed that 1 in 4 high school students in Guam is a current user of marijuana, and that current and lifetime marijuana use among Guam students are higher than the U.S. median. The senator also presented shocking numbers in the rise in popularity of e-cigarettes and vapes amongst youth.
35.2% of Guam high school students and 34.6% of Guam middle school students currently use an electronic vapor product. And data from the UN World Health Organization Global Youth Tobacco Survey has indicated that Guam has one of the highest rates of electronic vapor product use amongst youth.
Additionally, nearly 30% of middle school students have consumed alcohol, while 11% have initiated it at the elementary level. Efforts continue to hire a chief medical examiner for Guam. The position has remained vacant since 2018 when Dr. Arulo Espinola retired. As we reported last month, the Commission on Post-Mortem Examinations received several applications for the job. Attorney General Levin Camacho.
Where we are at with the search for a chief medical examiner, we had a meeting a few weeks ago. We identified there were several interested applicants. There was a search committee that was formed with myself, along with Dr. John Taitano.
AG Camacho says an update will hopefully be provided in the next 2 weeks. Sports is up next with Dave Delgado, and keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your 4th meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
When making the new Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich, people asked how I felt about burger places selling fried chicken. I'd say that's none of my business, just like making fried chicken is none of theirs. Get the new Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich. It's finger-licking good.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Well, with the start of the ESA Sports League kicking off Friday evening with high school football, Monday next week, girls high school volleyball, followed by cross country on Tuesday. Marvin Linder, the ESA League president, here to talk about the latest with the DPHSS guidance. Marvin, I know football's the biggest sport here on island, large crowds. What are we hearing now with as far as spectators?
We're allowing 100 spectators per game, per team. So a total of 200 at each contest. And we're highly encouraging the parents to get vaccinated, but there's no requirement written down right now for interscholastic sports. Hopefully we'll get word from public health and maybe the governor's office and make it a requirement, but right now there's no requirement for vaccination.
You're really having to ask parents to kind of understand that, you know, this is a guidance, this is a protocol thing, nothing against schools or parents, but the limitation is those who are on the list are only going to be the ones able to come in through the gates.
Yes, we did it just like we did earlier this year with lists of, and they will do their COVID checklist. You know, we'll check their temperature and ask them some questions, just like we did last year or earlier this year. Yeah, you know, the safety of the athletes and safety of the spectators are our biggest concern. You know, we want to have sports. We're allowed to have sports. We're thankful for having sports. So this is one of the challenges that we have, and we got to, you know, deal with the circumstances we've been dealt. So we're allowing 100 spectators, and hopefully that's enough for at least the parents to watch the kids. We're discouraging young children from attending the games. Not that they can't. If they're on the list, they can. But you know as well as I do that these kids don't go there to watch the game. They go there to have fun, throw the football, do other things, and we're highly discouraging that right now because of the situation we're in. You know, we want people there that's going to watch the game and cheer on their teams. But we're allowing everybody who's on the list, and each school provides the list to the home team, and they will check off everybody on the list. If they're not on the list, they're not going to be allowed to attend, unfortunately.
One of the teams facing a challenge this season, kickoff between the Sanchez and FD game. That game is being forfeited due to some injuries on the Sanchez side. Yes,
unfortunately, I got word yesterday that Sanchez is forfeiting the game. Hopefully next week they will have a team ready to play, and we're just going to play it by ear. We want them to have a team. You know, they have a school of 1,600, so we're hoping they can have enough players out there to participate. They had 30 before we stopped, before we stopped practicing, but they've had a lot of injuries, and we don't want a team out there that's not going to be full squad, because if they do, they could entail more injuries having kids play, you know, in every offense, defense, special teams, and so forth. So that's a concern. So I think Randy and Sanchez made the right decision in forfeiting the game against FD. And we'll play it by ear till next week.
Make sure to catch all your NFL action right here on the stations of KUAM. Sunday, October 17th on KUAM TV 11, 11:30 p.m. NFL on CBS. Miami Dolphins at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Monday, October 18th on KUAM TV 11. We have a doubleheader for you. 3 in the morning, NFL on CBS. Kansas City Chiefs at the Washington football team. And then at 6:25 in the morning, more NFL on CBS. The Dallas Cowboys at New England Patriots. Switch the channel over to KUAM TV 8 at 10:20 in the morning for some NBC Sunday Night Football. The Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Building on the past, we at Docomo Pacific Business believe in helping businesses move forward and together, changing the way we get things done to make you and your company reach your highest potential. Trust in our commitment to bring you the best solutions for all your business goals. We are Docomo Pacific Business. Let's work better together.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of the birthday shoutouts from the Coastal Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday on this October 14th to Hazel Derby, who celebrates birthday number 15 today, and happiest birthday wishes to Hazel. Your shoutout says, may today and your forever be as wonderful as you are. Your family and your friends, each and every one of them, says they love you. So Hazel, we hope you have a wonderful birthday. Enjoy, please be safe, and have a great day.
And remember, you can be a part of the Coastal Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Be sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. And that's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Guahusi Isaiah. Again, thanks for watching. Good night.